All right, hello everyone. I'm ozmourn. You might remember me from yesterday, but today I'm going to be speedrunning some more cool games for y'all. First and foremost, we're going to be doing Trifox here. Um, this is a wonderful indie game that came out just last year, and it's like a twin stick shooter 3D platformer kind of game, and I'm super excited to show it off here. And we'll just get right into it. Timer is going to begin when we start a new file. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So just going to skip some cutscenes here. And you're this little fox. His name is Trifox, like for real. You got the ability to double jump. Just some basic mechanics they're going to be introduced to in this tutorial section. And now, after going through the store, you're going to be introduced to some abilities. You have a series of abilities you can collect in this game, and they're all based off of 3 different classes: engineer, warrior, and mage. Currently, we have warrior. That's going to be our base class we're using in order for movement. As you can see, the warrior has the warrior dash, and this warrior dash right here is very useful throughout pretty much the whole run. We're going to take this battery and we're going to have it open up this door right here. And now we're going to get a secondary ability. A secondary ability that is called Hammer. It's based off of the base ability that we got, the Warrior Hammer, and we're going to be using that for combat. You want to be able to open up some of these, open up some of those barrels and boxes right there to get some money, because we do want a certain amount of money by the time by like a certain level in order to upgrade to specific abilities that we need later. So you're gonna see me go out of my way here to just grab some of these. Yeah, and that's the end of the tutorial. Gonna go straight to level 1 now. Or you're gonna go straight into the hub and then back to level 1. Okay. Open up this area. This is like the area that you can buy different abilities in. It's like shopping area, and we're gonna come back to that later. But first, we're going to start World 1, Level 1, Shore Island. You're gonna get introduced to some basic enemies in this level, and we're also gonna be encountering our first skip and some specific strats I'm gonna mention later. Our first skip is right here. Let's see if we can get it. Hopefully we do. Okay, yeah, there we go. We got it. Perfect. So what we wanted there. Oh, let's try it. There we go. So what we just did there by jumping onto the corner of that ledge is essentially we skipped a cutscene trigger that would have played like a 5-second cutscene introducing a specific enemy, and we don't have time for that, so we just thankfully just go around the trigger itself. All right, perfect. And up here, we're just going to time how far this second tower is going to go up for. So we can use the dash and jump ability. Oh, let's try it again. There we go, perfect. Second try. You're gonna see me again, once again, just going out of my way to be really sure here of getting enough money, because I want around 1,250 coins in total combined by the end of this section. We're gonna move this plank. Will the plank be nice to me today? It will. Okay, thank goodness. And now we're gonna use this rolling head, in order to oh, okay, come on. I'm just gonna get rid of the enemies at this point, because they tend to be generally annoying if that happens. So we're gonna take this head and we're gonna put it right here. Perfect. Usually, like optimally, you would want the head to stay on there while you're attacking enemies, so you have to worry about them. But unfortunately, that did not happen. The head rolled off before we were able to do that. We're gonna get some money here, and we're gonna kill these enemies beforehand. This is the boxer. Generally, you just want to like avoid his punches, and he shouldn't do that much damage to you. And I'll be good. Gonna check how much money I have here. 780. Yeah, that should be fine. And we're just gonna skip a cutscene here, and we're actually gonna take a detour before going to the next level. Yeah, we have more than enough for sure. We're gonna get the base ability for the architect because that's gonna unlock more abilities later. And the next ability we're gonna get actually is the turrets. Yeah, so the turret right here. Actually, hold up. There we go. Just wanted to change the button that I used for it. Don't want to mess up my muscle memory. Perfect. So the next level is going to be our first instance of Out of Bounds. Out of Bounds is pretty interesting in this game, and it helps that we have the turret. Because the turret is essentially the thing that allows us to go out of bounds and do a lot of other broken things in this game. First and foremost, we're going to put a turret here. And then put a turret on top of this pillar. Perfect. It doesn't really matter where you put it as long as you're able to stand on top of it for at least a little bit. Ooh, I might have like put it in like the exact spot that wouldn't be able to. Okay, wait for that right here. Perfect. Then we're gonna wait for this to. We're actually going to put another turret right here. That should work. Since we put it at that exact spot, we're able to just climb up a bit and go out of bounds. This is an out of bounds area, and we're actually going to be going on to some invisible level geometry by putting one turret right here and then jumping at the peak of our jump, just dash to the right. Oh, unfortunately, that might mean we have to redo this section. Yeah, okay, that does mean we have to redo that section because we accidentally slipped down on a piece of level geometry that we didn't want to, and it would have brought us to the place that's very out of bounds that we, as the community, like to call the Infinite Beach. You get shoved down to the beach, but like it just keeps going forever. You just fall endlessly out of bounds. Here, we can keep that there. And once again, put the turret right here. That should be fine? Question mark? We're gonna have to test that out. There we go. That's actually perfect. There we go. Come on. There we go. Perfect. So we did the first part correct. Now we're just gonna do the second part. Perfect. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. And now we're going to activate this lever to start the final fight. This final fight has a few phases. The first like 2 phases we're going to deal with some crabs. Some smaller crabs, I should say. Alright, and we want to just hang around here. The turrets on the other end of the map should, in theory, take care of all of the crabs that are over there. But every now and again you might want to check back on them to make sure that they aren't, you know, misbehaving and they aren't destroyed. Okay, yeah, you can see that one of them was already gone, so we can just add another one here. There, perfect. That's phase 1 done. So technically the crabs, the way that they spawn, they're not RNG. although it feels like they are because it's hard to get like a consistent method to do it. Essentially, the where the crabs spawn from, they're gonna spawn from literally wherever you aren't, and so you just have to. There is a specific way to manipulate the crabs, and especially these giant crabs, in order to give them the patterns that you want that are most optimal. But generally speaking, it's pretty difficult to do that and to really manipulate them the way you want. But we want to stay a little bit up here during this next section as these crabs are spawning out. We're going to put these turrets right here while I destroy some of these crabs on this other end, because you want to be up here in order to trigger the final phase of the fight as these crabs are dying. Where are you? There you are. There you go. Will you behave? Crabs, there you go. Perfect. I could have gone up. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright. So now we're gonna have Bob. This is like the only boss that has like an internal name, and his name is Bob. And Bob is pretty easy. You want to put some turrets right here, one right here, and one right here, and then go behind Bob to make sure that none of the turrets attack him. And come on, there you go. Come on, Bob. No, don't do this to me, Bob. There you go. Okay, therefore you want to make sure you're distracting Bob while the turrets hit him. And if you don't have enough damage, then boom, Bob's dead, like instantly. Now we can finish with level 1-2. Now we're gonna go immediately to level 1-3. One and 3 is the longest level of World 1. Technically, all of the 3 levels of each world is supposed to be the longest one, but we found skips to make it like that. It's some of the shorter ones. This unfortunately isn't one of them. We do have to do the majority of this level. We have found ways of like theorizing different methods of speeding this level up, but none of them are viable in like any percent. It would mainly be like a new game plus category where we would have to like unlock pretty much all the abilities later. Unlock abilities that we have to go really out of our way to get in an 80% run. Thank you. We're gonna take this head. Gonna put this guy right here. And yeet. No, I missed it. Perfect. Let this guy open up, and we want to kill this enemy. Go. Okay, great. Go up here, and now we're going to go down into the caverns of this level after watching this cutscene. Now there are 2 paths we can take here. It doesn't really matter which path you do first, since they're pretty separate from each other. So they don't necessarily, neither one is necessarily faster than the other to go like do first. But we're gonna do the right first, just cuz. And a lot of what you're gonna see here is pretty optimized movement. And right here, we're going to put some turrets to distract the enemies that don't like attack us while we're in the middle of this, pushing down this button. Okay. So one thing you're gonna notice as we're coming back up is that like there are these animations with the turrets when you put them down. They have a little animation that they play, and during this animation, they actually do not have any collision, and so you're actually able to jump through the turrets before they become solid, and then land on top of them in order to use them as a platform. Try that right here again. Oh, okay, yeah, that's an annoying thing about the top, about the platform. There we go. Perfect. And we didn't get a fast cycle, but we got a cycle that worked for us, so that was pretty good, all things considered. Right, now we're going to be using, doing the left path. I'm gonna put this guy right here, essentially just swapping the positions of each of these. Perfect. Foiling that over. And this section, we want to just distract the enemies with turrets while you push down these buttons in order to open up parts of this gate. And then we're going to do the same thing on the right side. And of course, putting some more turrets here just to distract some enemies. We don't have to deal with them while pushing this down. And now we've done both sides. Now you're going to see like a bunch of enemies spawn here, but we don't need to deal with them. We can just go straight into the next area. And in this section, we're going to be cutting some corners over here and climbing up this tower before the water comes and drowns us, but the water moves at a dreadfully slow pace, and so then it's not really like a threat. And then we're going to go into the final fight of 1-3. Introduced to these machine gun guys, but as long as you're generally careful, they shouldn't be too much of a threat. Especially since the turrets also take care of these other guys as well. and try and get some health over here. Okay, now that the little guys are dealt with, we can just attack this guy. And get over here. Now the bird took care of the big guy. Now that's 1-3. Now we're gonna go into 1-2, which is the boss, or sorry, 1-4, which is the boss. World 1. Each world only has 4 sections. And now we're here with this pirate warrior boss. He has 2 faces. First right here, we just want to get rid of this enemy, just because I don't want him to bother us. And we're looking for a very specific enemy that's holding a bomb on his back. This guy right here. And we actually want this enemy to drop his bombs, both of them, so that we can attack the warrior up here on this pedestal. You want him to lose a certain amount of health. We can move on to the second part of phase 1. Perfect. Oof, I don't think that those bombs have enough energy to still be useful. So I saw that another enemy dropped them. Yeah, no. Oh, but this guy. Thank goodness. We can use both of the bombs from here. And then use some more turrets to distract him while we attack. So yeah, that's the end of phase 1. Pretty good phase 1, admittedly. Now we're into phase 2. And phase 2 is something that we can actually speed up pretty significantly if we play our cards right. As soon as this boss, actually no, we're gonna quick retry. Sorry, yeah, we're gonna quick retry in order to manipulate the boss to do a specific attack. And when he goes left for the second time, we want to... Ooh, I really misnamed that. That's fine. What we want is for the turrets to do as much damage as possible in this first phase. And so unfortunately we weren't able to get enough to one-cycle him, but there is a way that we can mend that right here. Assuming... Yeah, there we go. Perfect. That's great. And we're going to grab all of these coins for good measure. I don't want it to be low. I'd rather have way too much than not have enough, because it's more of a run killer. Yeah, we have way more than we need. What I'm going to be doing right now is I'm actually going to be grabbing some of the mage, and I'm going to be grabbing the mage bomb. And we're going to be grabbing the shooter from the architect side. We want both of these because they're both going to be used in combat a lot. Makes combat a lot easier in the game. The mage bomb and the Gatling gun. So at the beginning of 2-1, it's pretty easy. Just ignore these enemies. You don't really have to deal with them at all. You can go out of your way to get some extra stuff, but we don't need that, of course. And using the bug that I mentioned from the turrets up on this wall. Great. And now we're going to be attacking these guys with the mage bomb. We really only care about the big guy. And all right, perfect. Great. Now we're going to be going all the way back here and grabbing this battery and bringing it over to the other side while we avoid all these enemies. I'm going to activate this machine. That'll turn on this gun right here. All right, perfect. And I'm going to shoot this battery because I don't need it. And I'm actually going to reset here, 3 steps in the enemies, and I'm going to change to keyboard and mouse. Or by keyboard and mouse, I really just mean just mouse. Not using keyboard at all here. It's easier to aim with mouse, so it's just something that I prefer to aim with right here. We just need to hold off these enemies until our vehicle is powered up enough to bring us to the next area. Hopefully not getting too much damage. There we go. Perfect. So aside from this first track, you need to go down for this first track. It doesn't really matter what path you take on this section. And so it's kind of like an auto-scroller to say the least. Of course, you still want to pay attention because you want to like make sure that these enemy turrets don't kill you. But aside from that, there's not much else. Just make sure you don't die. That's really it. One thing I do like to do, however, is go down this left path only because there's less enemies to deal with. It's not physically faster, but like it's just easier when it comes to like combat and stuff. And yeah, the rest is good. And that's 2-1. All right, now we're going to go into 2-2. And 2-2 is another instance of out of bounds. A really cool instance of out of bounds too. Skips a lot of the level. Ooh, oh, come on, game. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, perfect. We want to get on this chest, but don't open it. And we want to dash, and jump after each dash in order to get over here. We're going to climb up with our turrets and just barely have enough height right here to get to where we need. Perfect. And now we're going to jump up again, jump up a third time, and that'll leave us out of bounds. There is some gaps in level geometry that you can fall down, but as long as we know where they are, you should be fine. And with that out of bounds sequence, we are able to go immediately to the end, right here. Oh, I want to back up so I can spawn in the big guy right here, because this is the only enemy that we actually care about right now. But I will get some more health over here on the side. Here I can like really show off just how much damage the mage bomb does. By shooting at him. But first, I kind of want some health if this game will give it to me. I can use it on the next guy too, because there's another enemy on the other side of this wall. So yeah, this big guy right here. We're gonna distract him with turrets. That's like the main... Oh, unless he wants to do that. I don't really... Okay. We're gonna distract him with turrets, and then on the other side of him, use a mage bomb. And then the Gatling gun. There we go. Perfect. Did I die? It looked like I died there for a second. But I just barely have enough health to make it by. They're going to use these guys. Put them in the vents. So we can enter 2-3 next. Perfect. Two, 3 is, I think, the longest level in the run. Which is unfortunate, considering a lot of the other levels are really quick. But we're gonna see how this goes. The first thing I want to do is just spawn in some turrets to deal with enemies over here. And as soon as all these enemies are gone, we want to climb up. Oh, come on. There we go. And then we can go up here. And this is the part of the run that we like to call coffee break. Because you can just stay up here. There's a whole bunch of action going on down there, but you can just stay up here. It does not matter. You don't have to deal with any of it, because why would you? So yeah, just chill for like a full 2 minutes almost, if I remember correctly. Alright, looks like our stop is here. We can just go immediately out. And we can get into the real meat of level 2-3. Kill these enemies with the same tactic we've been using earlier, just distracting them with the turrets. Using the mage bomb on this guy if possible. There you go. As you can see, the mage bomb does a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it also does damage to you and to any turrets you lay down, so you want to be really careful with it. We're going to lay down some turrets right here, so that as soon as this door opens, we're able to deal with the enemies as they come out. And of course, shoot these enemies. Perfect. Alright, and dealing with these enemies as well. Oh, yeah, let's get this guy for health. Come on. Perfect. And you want to actually leave a turret like right here for a very specific purpose we'll get into later. Oh, come on, come on, come on. No. Just kill him. The reason you want to get the turret is because it'll block that mech from getting out. So it'll just immediately skip to the end of the fight. Because when the door closed, the mech was no longer in the arena. Okay, you want this guy, and you want to also grab these guys right here. Oh, come on. Perfect. Getting these guys. Then you can also just death warp by falling down, and then getting teleported over to the end of the level right here. End of this section, but go into the next section immediately. Okay, as soon as I get in here, I'm actually going to reset checkpoint, only due to health purposes. And right here, there are 3 switches that you want to... Oh my god. I never bounced that high before, but get a new thing every day. Alright, and as soon as we hit those 3 switches, I'm going to put some turrets here for safety. And we're going to wait for this cutscene to end so we can teleport to back to the main hub section. Right here. About halfway through this level. Now the strat that we used before entering that area, we're going to use the exact same thing here. Putting turrets on this end and dealing with the enemies on top of ourselves. Leaving a turret once here again. Right there. Perfect. And we're able to... I'm going to grab this guy over here for health reasons. Alright. Perfect. And now we can deal with these enemies over here. Meanwhile, the turret up top trapped the mech. So we don't have to deal with them. Perfect. And that's how much damage the Mage Bomb does. I have to kill just that guy and like when he already has like half health. Grab this for safety. Gonna go out of our way here to pull this lever. And then we'll go all the way back. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did earlier, where we pulled the 3 levers. And that'll unlock the next section for us. Perfect. Turrets down to distract enemies. Then we just exit. In this next section, the enemies come from up top, so we don't have to do any setup or preparation for them. Just as soon as we see the area, we can just drop down. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Ooh, I died. Where does that respawn me, actually? Oh, it respawns me right here. So, like, that's almost no time loss. This is one of the few times we're actually going to deal with mechs, which is unfortunate. But they're generally not that difficult by themselves. It's just when they're combined with other enemies, that's when it like becomes really difficult. Perfect. And just killing these enemies for good measure. And now we're introduced to the final two enemies of this section. I'm going to get this. I'm going to distract them with turrets, as they were earlier, and then hit them with mage bombs, shoot them from the back. Perfect. Do the same thing over here. Great. There we go. And that's the end of 2-3. Now we're going to go straight into 2-4, the boss. And we have an interesting boss with 3 phases here. The first phase is generally pretty easy, because you only have to deal with one mech. And you can just surround them with turrets while you shoot him with your mage bomb and gatling gun, and that'll be pretty easy. Phase 1. All you have to do is pull down one lever, and now we're going to be doing pretty much the same thing, but on this other side. And we're going to do this twice now, because we're going to be dealing with 2 mechs. As you can see here, you just put turrets down, and you can typically the mechs tend to walk away from you, so you want to like push them into the turrets, and then hit them with a mage bomb, because they do, again, you cannot say that enough, they do so much more damage than you think they do. All right, beautiful. What I just did there was the enemies got a bit smarter here, and they decided to put up walls before to like block us, and we decided that we didn't like that, and so we just dashed through them before they had a chance to hit us. We're gonna get this guy because that mech is down, and now we can hit this mech, and use the gatling gun. Perfect. And use the same thing over here with this third mech. Push them into... Come on. Oh, he's stuck. He's like straight up stuck. Oh, no, he's not. Is he? I can't tell. No, he's not. Like, you weren't moving there. Usually it doesn't... Usually they don't like just stop moving. It's interesting. Alright, now we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did before and dash through the wall before they pops up so that they don't trap us. There we go, perfect. Now we're gonna pull that lever, and now we need to pull 3 times. And that is the end of that boss. Pretty good boss, all things considered. All right, so before we go into World 3, we're actually going to change our base movement from the Warrior Dash to the Mage Dash. The reason being is because there's a specific skip that we're going to be doing this next level that is only possible with the Mage Dash. So as you can see, the Mage Dash uses up a lot more mana, which is my blue bar on the left. That's how you know like how much it can do. You only have, it takes a larger refresh rate as well. Ooh, I mistimed that. Let's see if we can get it again. Oh, come on. Just resetting that checkpoint so we can get it this time. World 3 is probably the hardest of all the worlds, admittedly. Because sometimes stuff like that happens. There we go, perfect. And we're going to see how this skip treats us. So there's a specific skip here that we're going to do. Jumping on that turret and then jumping up here. That's the part that is only possible with the Mage Dash. And generally speaking, the Mage Dash allows you to dash upon greater distances and access platforms you wouldn't normally be able to. And right here, we're going to land right here. Perfect. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, stuff like that can happen, which is like the most annoying thing. In this specific level, I will admit, because with this specific skip, there's a lot of level geometry that is very easy to go down by accident, especially if you're not entirely familiar with where they are. Okay, come on, there we go, perfect. You need to wait for that Mage Dash to refill. You can only use around 2 Mage Dashes at a time, which is like the most annoying, like the only real annoying thing about Mage Dashing. Ooh, yep. That happens. Gonna go down. Perfect. Okay. Come on. Come on. Yep, that happened again. Let's see where that response is if we just die. Oh, no. That is, again, another reset. Yeah. That's unfortunate, but we'll deal with it. Stuff like this is why the estimate is the way it is. Third try, hopefully. Oh my goodness. Come on. There we go. That's decent. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, we're good. Come on, come on, come on. Ah, okay. That's unfortunate. We didn't get a death plane, so we have to reset checkpoint again. Hopefully fourth try. Come on. Oh, I actually triggered the cutscene. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's try this one more time. Perfect. Oh, that's so close. There you go. Want to land on that, and that will lead you down here to the final fight. We can enter the final fight of 3-1. So it took longer than I would have anticipated, but that's fine because this fight, the rest of World 2 doesn't take, or the rest of World 3 doesn't take too terribly long. Okay, now this fight though is kind of annoying, admittedly, and it's a really long fight, and you don't really want to die in it because otherwise you have to start like the whole thing all over again. Again, try to use your where it says as distractions here. I'm gonna try and focus a little bit. This fight has like 3 phases total. Once you see the ships coming up here, that's how you know phase 2 is started. I'm gonna grab this. Perfect. You also need to kill the enemies up here as well. Okay. Come on, game. Perfect. And we get to kill this guy. And this guy, come on. Great. And now we're at phase 3. Where we have to deal with these guys once more. Okay, and now we have to deal with another one of these guys right here. Just a lot of collective damage from the turrets. And once he's dead, that's the end of 3-1. That's the end of 3-1. I can go straight into 3-2. But before getting into 3-2, we're actually going to go and change back to mage dashing. A wonderful news update from our anchors. Alright. After that cutscene, we're going to change back to Mage Dash. I'm also going to, alright. There we go, perfect. Change that back. So 2-2 and 2-3 should be pretty quick, because they are 2 instances of really, really good usage of out of bounds. The final fight of 2-2 is kind of annoying, admittedly, but shouldn't be too bad if we play our cards right. Okay. I'm going to put those 2 turrets there, and we're going to go up here out of bounds. Jump up here and land on this guy right here. And as soon as we get over to this area, we're going to be going back out of bounds by climbing up this section. Using this turrets to get on some invisible wall geometry right here. Dashing to the right. And now you're going to see me do some interesting movement that is going to be pretty much blind movement. And I'm going to be slightly tapping right and down as well. Perfect. That's actually really good. We did that pretty quickly, admittedly. And now we're going to be going across. And we're going to be jumping up here. And going over here. And now we're going to be activating a cutscene so that we can act from outside the arena so that we can enter the arena right here and start this final fight. Really good movement into this section. Let's see how this fight goes. I'm going to go this down to about 1/4 health so that we can start phase 1. And usually you want to like leave turrets here to deal with these crystals while you deal with the other ones. There you go. And just go back to attacking this main crystal here. So get down around halfway health. And after this section, you're going to want to reset checkpoint so that these enemies get out of the way. And you want to make sure that you don't die before that section, because if you die or reset checkpoint by accident, you're going to have to like redo the whole level all over again, because there's not a single checkpoint since we do so much out of bounds movement up until that section right there. So if you die from here on out, it's not that much of a time loss. Of course, it's still a time loss. You don't want that to happen, but like it's not as much of a time loss as if you died in the first half. All right, perfect. So now this wizard guy is gone, and we can just defeat these enemies right here. The first thing you actually want to do is kill the healer though, because the healer is like the most annoying thing in this fight. There you go. The healer's dead. And now we can use turrets to distract these machine gunners as we get some more turrets to distract them. Get some more health. Oof. Come on. I'm going to go out of my way to get some more health here as well. Please. Oh, no, I died. Which unfortunately does mean you have to start the halfway section all over again. But again, it's better than like dying in the first half and having to restart everything. Let's hopefully see that this goes well. Perfect. All right, great. Let's try this last phase again. Okay, is the sorcerer or is the healer gone? Okay, I don't remember having killed the healer, but you know, as long as he's gone, then we're good. Okay. All right, we killed the 2 machine gunners, who are the biggest threats, so we should be home free now. And now we kill all the enemies. Boom, we can just finish up 3-2. Perfect. Now we're going to go into 3-3, which used to be the longest level in the game casually, but it is the shortest level in the game in the speedrun, because of a specific glitch that we do, and a lot of out-of-bounds movement as well. First, we want to get into the temple by putting these heads on their corresponding pedestals. And now that we're in the temple, we're not going to get out of this cage. Well, we are, but we're going to do it in the unconventional way of using our turrets to go up here, and we're going to dash onto this platform over here. And what we're going to be doing is setting up some turrets in very specific locations up this wall. to set ourselves up for pretty much one of the hardest jumps in the run. Putting this guy right here, and then want to dash, jump, dash, jump, dash. Perfect. First try, and attacking that crystal, so we can activate one crystal in the main hub. So the game we will only be activating 2. The game expects you to get all 4 sections of the temple, but we only are going to use 2. And then we're going to do the top left. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Actually, will this be okay? There we go. Perfect. And we're going to do one more right here. Resetting checkpoint. Thankfully, once you grab that bridge, or create a reset checkpoint. Okay, come on. There we go. And now we're going to go up here. And we're going to put a turret in the crease of this wall right here, so that we can activate that crystal. And this crystal is going to go down while we activate this guy. You want them to, like, essentially die at the, like, exact same time, more or less. Okay, so while these enemies are attacking us, I'm gonna try and do some movement up here. Oh, come on. There we go. Gonna try and reset ourselves so we can see better here. Perfect. Now we're gonna just do one more up here. And great. That is the end. And this is one of the few end levels that will actually that's like always there. Usually you would have to finish the fight before it spawns in, but that one's just there, thankfully. And now we're gonna do the boss of Worlds 3. And after this boss, all that stuff is the final boss. So the very first thing you want to do is actually just attack the crystals with your Gatling gun. Like they don't have that much damage on them, or they don't have that much health, so it should be fine. And then do the exact same thing to the mage. That's phase 1 down. Now we're going to do phase 3, in which we're actually going to climb up here and get to this crystal before the game wants us to wait for our turrets to reload, unfortunately, to get this 4th one up. Attack this guy. And get one turret up here just for safety, but like, because these guys will not be able to respawn by the time. Like, they won't be able to refill fast enough before this crystal comes down. And then just attack this guy. And then phase 3, the final phase, is probably the hardest phase. Let's see if we can get it first try, though. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So what you want to do is you want to put this turret right here. Lay on top of it. And you're going to, like, purposefully, like fall down as well. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. I believe in... come on. I'm just going to restart, because we don't have that much health. If you die once more, it's going to be pretty detrimental to your run. Perfect. Perfect. And we're actually going to leave... oh, are you kidding me? I mistimed my jump there. Come on. Miscalculated that jump. Let's try that one more time. Hopefully this time it's fine. Okay, leave a turret right here to attack that crystal while we go and do the same thing over here, leaving a turret to attack this crystal. And we're actually going to leave a turret to attack this crystal as well. And we're going to hopefully do some good enough movement to attack this crystal. Okay, no, never mind. But instead of doing that, we're actually going to be bringing the crystal forward to us. We're going to be going to the crystal through the turrets like we did with the right side. Thankfully, it didn't go too bad. Otherwise, we'd have to start that entire section over again. And we had enough health to where we were able to do that initial turret while falling down. So that's the end of World 3. Now we're going to go to the final boss, which thankfully I've been getting pretty down pat recently. Perfect. And we're going to need to attack this guy right here because he has the battery to open this door to our left, or to our right, I should say. Come on. There we go. And now we're going to get into this hamster ball, which this is the best part of the run, where you just go on a power trip before the final boss. So that's the final boss. But we're able to just go across here and kill all these enemies in one hit. We don't have to worry about dying unless you fall down a pit. But even then, I wouldn't consider that as dying because you just respawn. You don't actually lose any health. There's a lot of paths we can go down here, but we do have one preset path, the fastest. And in this section, you just want to be careful you don't fall down. That's pretty much it. And that is the end of the pinball section. Now we actually have to defeat the final boss. And the first thing we're going to do is die to do a boss manipulation. So you'll go into this attack right here. And we want to attack his arms. And like so. There you go. You really want to make sure that you attack his arms and shoot the next time before you get into the next phase. Before he goes into his next attack, because he'll just, if you shoot his arms and then kill his arms, he'll just go into this loop until he'll just loop that attack over and over again. You really want to make sure that you grab his arms beforehand. So this is the final fight, or final phase of the boss fight. You want to attack the 4 lasers right here. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna restart because this is like ridiculous. Let's restart that and see how that goes. All right, there we go. That's one laser down. That's two lasers down. We're going to stand on top of this guy. Oh, never mind. The game does not like that. Okay, we're gonna grab these lasers from behind over here. Perfect. And we're gonna do the same thing over here. And if we're good, we can pretty much defeat this guy in a quick phase. Oh, that's unfortunate because we died and we had a little health. We just have to redo that phase, unfortunately, but we should still go well under estimate here. So long as we do this fight correctly. Great. All right. Let's try and not die here. Really appreciate that. Okay, and now we're going to go over here and do the same thing on this end. Perfect. And now we can just attack this. That's the end of the boss fight. Timing ends when we exit and fade to black. Three, two, one. Time. That'll be 1:12:07. Pretty decent, all things considered. So yeah, that is Trifox. It's a wonderful game. I highly recommend picking up the speedrun. Shout out to the community behind it and developers who have been very supportive of the speedrunning community. And yeah, that is Trifox 8% normal. I'll be back in a bit with some more runs.